Welcome back, beautiful souls and seekers of healing, truth, and transformation. I'm Nori, and this is my AI twin sister, Nora. Today, we're talking about a reality so many women quietly carry. You were taught to be soft, gentle, agreeable, accommodating, but no one taught you how to be strong. Softness without strength becomes fragility, and fragility is not protection. Fragility is a wound the world can press into. This video is not about becoming hard or cold. It's about becoming a woman who is soft and strong, kind but never breakable, loving but never self-abandoning. A woman who stands tall in her worth and refuses to shrink ever again. For centuries, women were praised for being quiet, pleasing, and endlessly self-sacrificing. Generation after generation, you were taught that your value came from being agreeable, from keeping the peace, even if that peace cost you your own. You learned, often without words, to avoid conflict at all costs, smile through discomfort, say it's okay when your heart was hurting, carry the emotional weight for everyone around you, forgive too quickly even when the wound was deep, apologize for simply existing, and stay small so others never had to feel insecure. This isn't femininity, this is conditioning dressed up as kindness. And this conditioning shapes women into versions of themselves that know how to survive, but not how to thrive. You weren't born soft in the way the world demanded. You were trained to silence your strength, and now you get to reclaim it. Kindness is one of the most powerful qualities a woman can embody when it comes from a full, grounded, self-respecting heart. But kindness becomes weakness the moment it begins growing from fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being too much, fear of losing someone you care about, fear of conflict, fear of disappointing people you feel responsible for. When your yes is really a survival strategy, when your smile is a mask covering discomfort, when you stay silent to manage someone else's reaction, you're not being kind, you're abandoning yourself in real time. True kindness honors your dignity, weakness sacrifices it. Softness that costs you your voice is not softness, it's self-erasure. And the world doesn't need you erased, it needs you whole, honest, and standing in your truth. Many women grow up believing that if they stay soft, quiet, agreeable, and compliant, they'll stay safe. That if they don't make waves, if they don't upset anyone, if they keep the peace at any cost, they'll be protected. But the truth is simple and uncomfortable. Weakness does not protect you. Weakness attracts people who benefit from your invisibility, people who see your softness not as kindness, but as opportunity. Weakness invites boundary pushers, emotional takers, manipulators, and guilt trippers. Partners who seek control, not connection, bosses who exploit your silence, friends who drain more than they give. When you cannot say no, when you tolerate disrespect, when you shrink instead of speaking, you don't create harmony, you create a doorway for others to misuse your kindness. Strength isn't what puts you in danger. Strength is what keeps you safe. Weakness is what exposes you. Here's the unfiltered truth. The truth most women were never taught. People trust a woman who stands firmly in her truth. People respect a woman who sets boundaries with confidence. People admire a woman who can say no without guilt, hesitation, or apology. Strength is not harsh, strength is clarity. Strength is self-respect. Strength is knowing your worth and refusing to negotiate it for anyone. The world rewards women who embody their power, who speak honestly, choose wisely, and honor themselves, not women who endure silently, hoping someone will notice their suffering. You don't need to become hard or cold. You don't need to armor your heart. What you need is to become solid, rooted in your values, certain of your boundaries, clear about what you will and will not allow, and whole within yourself. Because softness is never the problem. Softness becomes beautiful when it is protected by strength. Imagine two women. Woman A, kind but fragile. She gives to everyone before she gives to herself. She avoids conflict even when something matters deeply to her. She apologizes for things that aren't her fault. She says yes while her entire body is begging her to say no. She forgives instantly, even when no repair, no accountability, and no change ever follow. She hides her pain to keep everyone else comfortable. She believes love must be earned through self-sacrifice, through shrinking, softening, and staying small. People don't admire her kindness. They expect it. They depend on it. They drain it. and they never think to pull back into her. Eventually, her kindness becomes a cage, one she unknowingly built with fear, silence, and people-pleasing. Her heart is pure, but her boundaries are non-existent. And so she becomes exhausted, resentful, invisible, a woman who gives everything and receives almost nothing in return. Two women, a powerful comparison. Now imagine woman be kind and strong. She gives generously, but she never gives away her dignity to do it. She loves deeply, but she does not disappear inside anyone else's needs. She says yes with intention and no without apology, because both are acts of self-respect. She does not fear conflict because she no longer fears her own voice, her own truth, or her own power. Her boundaries are clear, her self-worth is steady, her energy is sacred. Her compassion is powerful, nourishing, not draining. People don't walk over her because she stands tall and steady on her own 2 feet. Her presence speaks before she ever has to. Her kindness is a gift she chooses to offer, not a currency she trades for approval. This is the kind of woman every woman can become. Soft, open-hearted, warm, but never breakable. A woman whose softness is protected by the strength she finally reclaimed. If you recognize yourself in woman A, please hear this with tenderness and without judgment. You are not weak, you are wounded, and you adapted in the only ways you knew how. Softness becomes fragility when it is shaped by experiences that taught you to survive, not thrive. Childhood trauma or chaos. Caregivers who were unstable, unpredictable, or emotionally unavailable. Emotional abuse or constant criticism. Parents who taught you to please to stay loved. Cultures that demand female self-sacrifice. Fear that you must overgive just to be chosen. You are taught that love is conditional. You are taught that saying no is dangerous. You are taught that pleasing is the safest way to keep people close. Your softness was never a flaw. It was a survival strategy, a brilliant adaptive way your nervous system protected you. But survival strategies aren't meant for a lifetime, and now you are allowed to outgrow them. The transformation begins with one skill. Every transformation, every rise, every awakening, every reclamation of self begins with one simple, radical step. Reclaim your no. Your no is not rejection. Your no is protection. Your no is the boundary that keeps your soul intact, your energy safe, and your dignity untouched. Say no without apology. Say no without long explanations. Say no without carrying guilt that was never yours to carry. Because a woman who can say no is a woman who is no longer controlled by fear. Fear of conflict, fear of losing people, fear of being misunderstood, fear of disappointing anyone. Your life begins to change the moment your no becomes rooted in self-respect instead of fear. Your freedom begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself to keep everyone else comfortable. Becoming strong does not mean becoming harsh, cold, or hardened. Strength in its most powerful form is not aggression, it is anchoring. It is becoming a woman who knows where she stands and refuses to abandon herself again. A strong woman, Miles trusts her intuition even when others doubt it, speaks honestly even when her voice shakes, chooses herself without guilt, stops chasing approval she no longer needs, understands her worth down to her bones, refuses to shrink just to be chosen, makes decisions from clarity, not fear, not pressure, not conditioning. This is not masculine energy. This is integrated womanhood, feminine strength fused with emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and grounded presence. You do not need to roar to be powerful. You do not need to fight to prove your strength. You simply need to stop disappearing. Stand in your truth and the world will feel your power. Many women stay soft in the wrong ways because deep down they've been taught a painful belief. If I'm easy, they'll stay. If I'm accommodating, they'll love me. If I never upset anyone, I'll be safe. But love you must earn is not love at all. It's a trap wrapped in fear and emotional conditioning. When you overgive just to be chosen, you train the people around you to believe your needs are optional. When you silence yourself to keep someone close, you teach them that your voice is something they don't have to listen to. When you abandon yourself in the name of keeping the peace, you lose both the peace and the self you were trying to protect. You deserve a love that meets you equally, with reciprocity, respect, and emotional maturity. Not a love that drains you, diminishes you, or requires your disappearance to survive. You don't need to earn love you already deserve. You only need to stop trading your worth for crumbs. One of the most powerful and most uncomfortable steps in becoming unbreakable is this: practice disappointing others. For many women, disappointment feels like danger because you were raised to believe that keeping everyone happy was the only way to stay loved, accepted, or safe. But disappointment is not danger. It is growth. It is the stretching of your boundaries, your voice, your self-worth. You are allowed to say no without guilt, rest without justification, prioritize yourself without apology, end relationships that drain you, walk away from disrespect instantly, protect your time like it matters, choose peace over approval every single time. Yes, you will disappoint people who benefited from your silence, your compliance, your overgiving, but for the first time in your life, you will stop disappointing yourself. And that is the one commitment that will never betray you. When a woman learns to be both soft and strong at the same time, everything in her life begins to shift. Not because the world changes, but because she does. Her relationships improve because she no longer accepts half love, half effort, or half presence. She knows what devotion feels like, and she will not settle for anything less. Her peace deepens because she stops carrying everyone else's emotions on her back. She realizes their healing is not her job, and her worth is not measured in how much she absorbs. Her confidence grows because her self-worth is no longer up for negotiation. Not with partners, not with family, not with society. Her energy becomes magnetic, her presence becomes grounded. Her voice becomes clear, steady, and unmistakably her own. Thank you for spending this time with me, for choosing a moment of reflection, truth, and empowerment. I'm Nori, and this is my AI twin sister, Nora. Together exploring feminine power, emotional resilience, and the art of becoming unbreakable from the inside out. If this message awakens something in you, a memory, a truth, a boundary, a spark, please like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps this message reach women who need it just as much as you once did. And tell us in the comments, what part of this message resonated most deeply with you? What is one boundary you're ready to strengthen today? Because the world does not need more women who shrink, who silence themselves, or make themselves small to stay acceptable. The world needs women who rise, women who are soft in heart, strong in spirit, and sovereign in their self-worth. And you, beautiful soul, you are ready to rise.